Hi, guys. Welcome back to Hapa After Five. I'm your host, Umar Jalani. With me today are two fantastic guests with us, Sarmad Hashmi and Amna Zaberi. Sarmad Hashmi is a guru in typography, and we know him from the famous campaign of Pepsi, Why Not Meri Jaan? And he also designed that fantastic Oreo biscuit for Pakistan. Next to us is Amna Zaweri. Amna Zaweri, if you've seen Coke Studio recently, she's done all that amazing work recently. She's also one of the few photographers who went on the British tour. She was the only female photographer, I believe. So, welcome to the show, guys. Thank you for coming and taking some time out. So, just to quickly know a bit about yourself, Amna, I know that you started, in the advertising background. So, how did you really make the switch to photography, and when did that really happen?
Hi, Umar. Thank you for having us over. Okay, so that switch has also been a while now, literally. So yes, I was in advertising. I was working as a communication and design strategist, creative director, and I moved over to brands then, where I was doing strategy and insighting. So I was with Nestle, and which at that time felt like a very natural progression. And then I burnt out.
Right. I think I remember that little moment when you did burn out. I
Yes.
think we even had a little conversation where you were like, "Bus,
Yes, I was
मैं नहीं
done
कर सकती."
working 9 to 9 and
Yes.
kind of high pressure jobs and stuff. So I think that was the time that I went back. I actually got into, I started working freelance to what I did, which was strategy and consumer insighting and working on concepts and a freelance creative director. And I just didn't want to get into the 5 to 9 routine. I wanted a bit of time to myself. And I started, I was heading the thesis batch for Beacon House University's design program, visual communication design. So that actually, this combination gave me a lot of control of my time, and I was able to take a lot of time out for myself. So I started hiking and going across Pakistan. That's actually where it all started. Picked up a camera because since always, the visual storytelling bit was something that always inspired me, always and always. But I actually didn't have any plans of becoming a photographer or anything. It was more like me and my conversation, just my own mental conversation.
Right. That's right. Because you were just taking photographs for just for yourself in the
Exactly. So
beginning.
that's what it was. And then I think people started saying, why don't you exhibit? You've traveled so much across Pakistan and you cover, your, and I was like, no, but I do it for myself. So, and a camera is a great way of keeping everybody at bay. So it's you and your camera and you just wander off. So, got picked up by a publisher. They bought my work and then they offered me books to shoot 2 books. And I was like, okay.
Yeah. And your first book was what was it?
So the first book that my work went into, and I even got the cover for it, and a lot of my work went into, they bought work was Pakistan Heritage Cuisine.
Yeah.
It's a food research
Yes.
by Saida
Absolutely.
Lagari.
Absolutely.
And it went on to win 2 awards, that book.
Amazing.
Yeah, and then I shot Nestle's dairy book.
Right. Right.
Yes. And
So
while
you
I
got
was,
stuck back into the coffee.
yes, I got stuck back from a very different
Right.
perspective.
Yes. Did you have a better, more leverage at that time working with Nestle in your own sort of domain?
I wasn't really working directly with Nestle, I was working with a publisher. But it was, yeah. So I kind of tried keeping a fresher approach and just an approach towards my camera versus knowing my client. I kind of didn't get into that.
Right. So you published two books and then
And then
you.
it actually just started off. In the next year, I got offered 5 books more. So in the first 3, 4 years, I ended up doing 8 books.
So you were picking up skills as a photographer as you were shooting, or did you go
Yes,
through some
it's
training?
no. So it's totally self learned. It was totally. And I remember a very good friend of mine and a very well known photographer, Kohi Murray, was working on a project in Lahore on a film. And the director of the film is a friend of mine. So and I was getting off from university on their summer break. So he said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Nothing." He said, "Why don't you come and shoot?" So I kind of did the entire BTS for that film.
Oh, nice.
But the amazing bit was that Kohi taught me so much. Literally, it was like, he like, move off this, do this. you need it's night mode, you need to shoot on these. I learned so much. So, my entire training has been trial and error and learning on a
And
job.
also, I didn't see you use a lot of lights in the beginning or any extra gadgets or a lot of equipment. I think you
I
went
still
very
don't.
basic, and I think that's like a great style.
I've always thrived on available light. I may now say this is bad light or whatever to something, but honestly, for me, nothing's ever been bad light except when it's really flat.
Right, unless there's like as much smog there is
Smog, yes, that's
in
killer. But
Lahore.
otherwise, honestly, I've always thrived on that extreme light and dark shadow. I love that play. For me, perfect, anything that's perfectly lit and everything is no, overproduced. For me, I just feel it loses its natural element. But I guess with time, there are requirements. Now, even I work on projects where, I kind of need to light it because it's food and it can't be dark on one side and can't be light on one side. Yes, but then, yeah, so that is how it began. And with time, actually, my photography work increased and I kind of had to let go of the university because of travel. I had to travel a lot for work. And so here I am.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that's a good start to how she went on. So, Sarma, tell us about you. I think I just spoke to you before we started this that you went to college to Ikra University, which is generally very surprising, uh, seeing the caliber which you are at and the kind of work which you're producing. So, how did you did you have a family background which is into design art? How did you get into it?
Very similar to Amna actually. My father father used to work in PTV. He used to be the master control room engineer.
Oh, really?
So I had some sort of
This is PTV
inspiration.
in
This
the
is PTV
80s,
Lahore.
in
Um,
what,
this
90s?
is till COVID. So my father had a job in PTV since forever, I think. It was 25 years of experience. So he was an engineer in that sense. So I learned a lot from him. कि, okay, ये इस तरह चल रहा है, टीवी ये चल रहा है. So थोड़ा बहुत inspiration आती है
So
उधर से.
you used to also go to PTV or to see him work as well at times?
To like some extent to some extent I have been to PTV like I think 4 to 5 times. We used to get passes for shows actually, for Tariq Aziz show actually.
Right.
So we used to get a lot of them,
Amazing.
and then we used to give it to our teachers, and they used to love that because obviously that was the only channel at that time, and people were very excited to be on the Tariq Aziz show because it
Everyone
was
wanted that
the
washing
show.
machine, yes.
All these late night Saturday shows came after
What a
that,
coolest reward. Yes.
so
And
it was
and there was a lot
very.
of like quizzes at that
The
show,
energy
lot
was
of like general knowledge
crazy.
and so on.
And then obviously the internet happened, and obviously uh, we had this community in on DeviantArt. There used to be a DeviantArt
Yes,
at that
yes,
time.
I remember that.
So we
Absolutely.
started putting up stuff, and we started meeting people over there. Online meeting ho jati thi. There was a community called Park Deviants. So I was like, okay, I can do, and I found really good mentorship from there as well. Murtaza Khalik being one of them. Shahzad Khan होते थे उस वक्त एक. So he used to be like, yeah, ये काम नहीं करना है, ऐसे ये नहीं काम करना है, ये करो. So totally self-taught, I think. बीच में mentors आते हैं obviously, and you learn from trial and error as well, just like Amna said. And then eventually, after metric and after your intermediate and whatever जो studies होती हैं उसके बाद I was like, okay, I need to follow the media wala part. I was into gaming and I was into games and stuff, but figured out that I think media sciences is the way to go. I did my bachelor's in animation,
Oh, from Ikra University.
from Ikra University. I used to put up my stuff on DeviantArt साथ साथ. But उसके बाद फिर there were a lot of agencies and Naveed Siraj was one of them who literally was fine. तुम कहाँ पे होते हो? After 2 years of my university, I was in the university while I was hired by Naveed Siraj, and he was like, तुम बहुत मुश्किल से मिलते हो. मैंने कहा मुश्किल से क्या मिलता हूँ? So he's like, I had to find you through Sayyid Jeem and through other artists. I had to, ask around कि ये कौन है, इसको उठा के लेकर आओ. I need this person in my agency. So I started my agency life like that.
Right.
He
And
hired me, and
what agency was this?
it was Imagine X at that time.
Right.
It has
This was
closed
in
down.
Lahore?
This was in Karachi.
In Karachi.
I was in Ikra University, Karachi. So literally
No,
started
so
my
what are
journey
you
from
even
there.
doing in Karachi? Your father was
I
here.
was. I didn't get into NCA, so I just went to Karachi for my summer vacations, and I saw the ad of Ikra University. It was their second batch, I think, for media sciences, and I was like, okay, let's do this. Let's start because my mother's side of the family is in Karachi. I will stay at my nanny's place, and I will just so kind of worked in my favor because I started my agency
Yeah.
life and
But you have
practical
a
life
very
from there.
particular style, especially these days. I mean, this I'm sure must have evolved over the years since you were animating, or did you have a consistent style?
I never pursued animation in that sense. I did some quick like animations for obviously different brands like Broadway or Burger Lab or something like that, but never really pursued it full time. Like Puffball Studios, have started doing animated stuff,
Right.
right?
And also, I mean, since Amna's with us, there's a lot of photography element in your current design pictures as well. How important uh, does each of your work translate with each other? If I mean, I know if there's a good picture and terrible typography, or great typography and horrible photography, it just doesn't make sense. When you're putting something out, do you hope that a designer or a photographer would add some oomph to it?
So it depends. A lot of times, I actually, when I'm working with when I'm contacted for a book, for example, or for an album cover, I now make it a point to discuss and kind of pick on the brain of the creative director. I want to know what type of mood are they, because just for me to be able to give them, it's not they are defining, but if there's a mood board set together, and then in the end of the day, you got to keep in mind the technical stuff also, irrespective of what you do. If it's a square layout book and the images are such that they can't be cropped or anything for that particular, for those layouts or anything, then is it good enough what you're doing or not? Yeah, you know. So, if it's a text heavy book, then how do you make sure that your images and the text are kind of working together? I have short books where I have been, when we've sat down, we've kind of figured out, okay, they are text heavy. So I've really worked on the rule of the third there, you know. I made sure so that, because if it's a teamwork, if you're doing it for a particular requirement, then you got to, I believe it just helps better if you're able to bring your best out, keeping in mind how the image will be used.
Absolutely. And I mean, in the end, if it doesn't print out nicely, that's another downer. Right. And in Pakistan, especially, we have a huge problem with,
Yeah,
printers.
recently something got printed in a newspaper of mine, and here, and somebody was sending it to me, and it was a totally bleached, overexposed, and this is one of the leading publications of Pakistan. Oh, and I was like, I went back and looked at my images, and I went back to the person who wrote the article. I said, did you?
And opened my raw images. Like,
No,
what the
not
hell did
raw,
I
the
shoot?
edited versions. I said, did you receive? And that person's actually an art writer and also designer. So I said, did you kind of receive overexposed images from me? He said, no, your images were perfect. What they kind of totally overblasted everything in the paper. And I really refuse to associate with it also. I refuse to reshare
Sarma,
it.
that
I
must
think,
be a big problem for you as well, especially
It's
for
a nightmare.
printing
It's
and
always
design.
good to have like a so for
Like a
Pepsi
backup
we had
printer.
a production manager and who used to see okay, the purple is more or the red is more, or it's perfect, the Pepsi blue is needs to be the right blue. So it's very important for that person to be there when the prints come out, because then the whole billboard is gonna look bad and
Terrible.
everyone is gonna notice.
I know. And I think सारी वो मेहनत जो है वो एकदम से just goes to trash if it's
you
just
kind of just then put your head down and just cross the billboard. You don't look at your work.
yeah. I mean
You
because the
don't.
print after all those things is the only physical tangible thing जो हाथ लगा के लोग देख के
Because digital
it's the only
gets
thing which makes
swiped
an effect.
away in 3 seconds or
Yeah.
2 seconds, and
Yeah, exactly.
people just forget about the
Huh.
whole
You
campaign.
do a lot of stuff which is printable as well. You know,
I have now done. I have found a person who can print my artwork in the more.
please share that person's name and number after
I
this.
would do that. But I do gatekeep him a lot.
He gets you. He gets what you're looking for.
He sends me like 5 proofs and he's like, oh, इसमें से pick कर लें आपको कौन सा चाहिए.
So, speaking of pop culture, we need to talk about your infamous Pepsi campaign. I know there was an open pitch going on, and we got invited to the pitch as well. But I think Meri Jaan aspect wasn't in the brief. So, did you add that yourself, or how did you come across that?
We always wanted to be one step ahead at All Story, right? So we were like, okay, let's do it in that way. Like, let's make it a little bit pop culture. Let's make it a little bit relatable as well. The campaign, the ask was, I think, why not? And then we added the Meri Jaan element because we were
So
doing it
you
in
added that,
Pakistan.
right?
So
Because it makes more
it was
relatable.
Umar Malik's brain behind the whole idea. Okay, this is what we should do, and let's inspire the whole thing by the Pepsi Cola logo as well. We did a lot of iterations. The initial idea, the initial designs were completely different from the one that was presented. We made around 50 options.
Right.
Uh, we
Damn.
uh, we uh,
50
really
options.
we really put in the effort in that. And the Pepsi one was really a big break for me as well, because I was burnt out during COVID. Everyone, I think, was burnt out at that time. I was taking some time off and I was doing freelance work, and then I was focusing on my own work as well, because commercial काम तो होता ही रहता है. बट पर्सनल काम जो है वो उसमें थोड़ी सी होता है कि अच्छा परफेक्शन होनी चाहिए थोड़े बहुत. So we did this, and obviously All Story was like, okay, Umar was like, aa jao, we loved your work. Usi personal projects me, I did the Coca-Cola ka ek stamp design for my own self. I was like, okay, let's do it. I love the campaign. That was the campaign called uh, that was I think Coca-Cola का था कराची अपना है or something like that campaign आई थी उसकी. um, do edit that out if it's not right. But I think that inspired Umar Malik. Malik was working on Coke Studio. And then he was like, "Oh, I'm opening my own agency now, and come on board, and we will do this pitch together." And that was the big break. I was like, "Okay, 6 महीने हो गए
So
हैं."
you also freelance with a lot of other agencies as well.
I now have started doing that.
You
Yeah,
like doing that. Generally,
I
it's a
love to
fun
do. I
dynamic.
changed my. I think I wanted to do I want to do consultation more in design work less with the agencies, obviously. But do want to work with agencies as a consultant
Yeah,
now.
I think it's a great positioning. Talking about your campaign with Pepsi, I must switch to Amna Zuberi on her Coke campaign. So, I mean, you shot with, and there were such memorable moments, I think, which we all enjoyed. How was it like shooting with so many musicians, such a big set? I think one of the like grandest productions I've at least seen
It
recently.
was a fabulous 6 months.
6 months.
Yes, that's what it takes to bring a season.
And this is all shot.
That's just 6 months of shooting, literally. But it takes almost a year and a half for a season to come together.
So, I mean, since you're finishing one season, you're already working on the other season, right?
Yeah, mostly it works out like that for the main core production music team. Because obviously, if you look at the format of Coke Studio now, you're not kind of picking up the top league. You're going and hunting for indigenous artists, for stories to tell, for more talent. So that takes a lot of time at the end of the music producer, the brand, all of that. हम लोग तो end में आते हैं. When you know the house is about to stand, the final leg, we come in that.
But are you also aware of like the playlist or the people who you're shooting before?
No, so yes, so what it happens is that you're obviously it was very fortunate that I sat through all the PPMs, the ones that were right before the shoot. So that gives me a bit of an idea of the mood and the feel of the song. I had heard I initially when I was called in that we want you to come in and have a conversation, I literally I was told we're thinking of you for 2 songs, with your storytelling. So I said, great, fine. So I went in, I heard the songs, we had exchange of ideas, and strangely I walked out with 4 songs. Yeah. So and then as
So
the
you shot the
season
first two
I was
songs, and
yeah.
then they saw your work,
No,
and they're
no.
like,
So
okay, we want
basically
more.
no, actually even the first song was something that I wasn't. So it was like the second or the third song, and then they said, okay, are you available on these dates or what? And I think it just rolled out that I ended up doing 8 songs of the season. They wanted me to do a ninth one also, but I wasn't available on those times.
And this is all in Karachi.
Yes, we worked out of Karachi.
I think Hashim Ali. I think he also did a fantastic job in overall the set designs
Yes,
and
he
everything.
so Hashim did majority of the songs. The art direction, production design on majority of the songs. They were of course 2 more art direct. Tanya Mirza did 2 songs and another art director
And you were
also.
all you were shooting in their lighting, so you didn't have your own setup.
I was because you see, you're you're looking at multiple layer of teams there, and the idea of bringing me in was that they said literally my brief was that we want storytelling that you do, we want you to do that.
Right.
Now that
I mean,
storytelling,
that's a dream brief, right?
yes, exactly. So honestly, it was for me. Um, I literally, it was, I had I was really lucky that I created my own job description on that set. And we defined the parameters of, okay, where do we want to take it through my work, doing the first and the second song or the third, because it literally my brief was, we want you to come in and do the storytelling you do.
Your storytelling mostly was after listening to the songs and looking at the sets, or you had
No,
some
so I did.
preconceived
No,
sort
so
of.
what happens is that obviously you're given a bit of a background on the song. You sit through the PPM so you understand. You see the visual directory that's been created, the mood boards and everything. You're there in the PPM. You hear the song, but actually, really, it all just happens on the set. Yes, so you really need to be on your feet. You
So
really
there are
need
no
to be
second
open.
takes there, right? Yes. So you gotta keep
I don't have a second take.
right.
I will shoot constantly. But yes, I would do this, that I would shoot something and then say 2 hours later it'll be lit better, so I'll go back and shoot that again.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
So you
but
could tell the artist to kind of do a certain thing again, or you had to just go with
okay,
the.
so the thing is that how I work is that if you've seen my work also, that 90% is not post. It's just me going and finding my frame. So that's what I like doing. I just go and find my frame. And then when you're working on something like Coke Studio, trust me, it's all about teamwork.
Right.
It's about your relationship with the director. It's although every director hates the on-set photographer because it's like, Amna, because hearing Amna get out of the frame was like a constant,
Yes.
and
Because you're gonna be really in it.
no,
You
I
know.
mean you have like you work through the breaks and you work through when they're changing shots. So you say light na badle, because a lot of sets hota tha shot hua light band ki agle set, on the next. shot that and you're like, I need my light.
So did you also feel a lot of time you lost a lot of good shots?
No, I think for me the most challenging shoot was 2 a.m. And that was the first song we shot. And but it was the most fun also in a lot of ways because of the challenge of it. It was like Ghup Andhera, literally.
Right.
Because that was the idea.
Kiska gana tha?
2 a.m. was Starsha and Zishan. Um, it was directed by Avais Kaur. And of course, our direction and production was Hashim.
Intense.
Yes, and it was you actually felt like you were standing in the middle of a road, a street in Karachi. Tariq Road raat ke 2:30-3 baje. It felt like that. Not for a second.
Without getting mugged.
Without getting mugged. Not for a second did you not feel that. So it was challenging, but that was the fun of it also. Because yes, we all go with these bit of preconceived notion that I'm going to take this shot and that shot. And at times when you get there, you will not get that shot, but you got to see how you're going to make it to that shot. Like for them, that was their first interaction with me, the team. It was a little unnerving for them because I climbed up 20 feet high Ghodiyan, which used to be, they live like, what is it? This is how the season's going to go. But if it wasn't for that, I would have not gotten 2 a.m. with that woman sitting on the first floor and holding a cat. I wouldn't have gotten that shot. So, it was as simple as, please, can you get down? Or, dude, I gave you your shot.